Welcome back. Have you ever lost your pet at some point? There's been many cases where your pets go missing. People are fortunate to find them, but that's not the case for many. Did you know that 1 in 3 pets go missing during its lifetime? And without proper ID, 90% never return home. And with me right now is Dr. Janice Price from the Windmill Animal Hospital, who gave me that statistic. How are you today?
We're good. We're getting through the holidays.
How was the holidays for you, by the way?
It was pretty wild.
What do you mean by that?
Well, everything happens at Christmas. That's when pets get sick. That's when kids get sick. People come into town and visit. The dogs don't know where they are. They get out the door because the UPS man just delivered the gifts from Grandma. The dog doesn't know where he is because he's in a strange town.
Oh, and you can't find your uncle. He's outside and
That's
you let
right.
the dog out.
And like in the last 2 weeks alone, we've had 3 pets who were found by people who brought them in. We scanned them. They had a microchip. We called the 800 number, and they got reunited.
We'll talk about the scanning in just a little bit. The statistic that I just learned, 1 in 3 animals in their lifetime will actually
They found ways to get out of the yard and get out of the house.
That's surprising to me that luckily some people do, have the chance to find them and bring them back home. But like what I just said, it's not always the case.
Now, if they do not have permanent ID, only 10% will make it home. But if they have a chip, 90% make it home, and it's a huge difference. Dogs can't talk. They don't carry a wallet, and commonly they will get their collar off, or the tag will come off their collar. If they're a cat, the collar always seems to come off. So we have to have an alternative method of permanent identification, and there are 2, microchipping and tattooing. Tattooing commonly doesn't maintain legibility, so microchip, it's easy.
I could just see a bulldog with a tattoo.
With a tat.
Like, hey, where'd you get that tat? No,
Well, tattoos are usually in the groin or in the ear. Now, a frightened animal commonly won't let their head be touched and won't let themselves be rolled over to check for a tattoo. So again, we come back to microchip. It's quick, it's easy, it's not expensive, and it's very, very safe.
And it's this form of identification. And here in Texas, if you're adopting a pet, they are required to have this chip. Just explain the process in doing this.
Well, this is a scanner to check a pet for a microchip. What we do is we hold the scanner like this, we depress the button, and we scan the pet, and when it finds a chip, it makes its little beep sound, and then it displays a number. And then we write down that number and call the microchip company to find out the information about that pet. Now, if y'all can zero in on this little grain of rice sized item right here is an actual microchip, or an RFID. And it has a unique number that no other microchip in the world will have it. So when the chip is implanted under the skin between the dog or cat shoulder blades, then the pet will now have permanent and unique identification.
And this system is called Home Again.
This is the Home Again system. Now, there's a variety of microchip manufacturers. They all have data banks. They all have 1-800 numbers that are answered 24/7, 365. So we scan a pet, and the scanners are universal. So we scan a pet, we get a microchip number, we just pick up the phone and call Home Again. If it's one of their chips, they'll have the information right there at their fingertips. If it's someone else's, then they'll tell us which company it is, and then we call that number, and we find out who this pet is.
Now, a bunch of your clients are actually on board with this.
Yes.
And what's been the feedback? Because you said yourself, your pet, you've been in practice for over 20 years, and whenever you got your first, I can't talk today, whenever you first got your pet, you already had it chipped.
Right. I chip every one of my dogs and cats because I want them to be able to come home, and we recommend it for every dog and cat in the practice that is not microchipped. Most of them go ahead and include it with the spay or neuter service, or if they've already been spayed or neutered, we just go ahead and do it during an office visit.
What are some of the concerns from people? The idea of
some people are a little worried about, ooh, you're putting a foreign object inside my pet. Well, this is a little glass ampule, and it's the size of a grain of rice, and in 28 years of practice, I have never seen a lump or bump or infection or reaction or any kind of problem with microchip.
Well, from what you just said, it's very easy, and it doesn't take that long at all.
Yeah, it's a one-time thing, and then the dog or cat has permanent ID and can come home if they get out.
Okay. Hey, great advice and a great option. Like we said, for a lot of people, if you're interested in this procedure or have a sick little pet, bring them to the Windmill Animal Hospital off Windmill Circle. The number to set up an appointment is right there on your screen. They're even open on Saturdays. All their info is also on their Facebook page as well. Dr. Janice Price, pleasure for you to be here.
Thank you.
Go to bigcountryhomepage.com/KTAB-4U to view this segment.